Hi guys, can able to see the screen guys?
Yes.
Okay guys.
Yes, Vinod.
Thank- Okay. Thanks for confirmation. So in the previous session we seen the what is the step-by-step process of performing the journal entries. So today let's discuss about uh, how the various journal entries is being involved. Okay. So what are the major types of journal entries we need to process in the real time? Then we will go to the how to process a journal entry, guys. Okay, fine. See, when it comes to journal entries, guys, as I told you, in the real time, we will not going to record about any in. See, there is a two differences between invoices and journals. To understand what is invoices, what is journals. So both are transaction. There is a differences between invoices and journals. So invoices is nothing but the transactions where the bill is being generated. Okay. So invoice is nothing but, in simple words, a document issued by a invoice is nothing but a document issued by a seller to buyer buyer. Okay. So that shows goods sold. Okay. Goods sold. Okay. So like invoices or purchase invoice, purchase invoice, sales invoices. Okay, so we have transactions are happen in two ways, guys. One is invoices. So where the bill is been issued or where this is been issued. Like if you make the payment something, they will give some receipt invoice. You made a payment, and if you pay something, that is payment invoice. So these are the invoices, guys, and there is a differences between invoice and journals. So in the real time, we are to our people, we will not record the journal, we will not record the invoices, guys. Okay, we will record journals. So journal is nothing but it's a transaction, it's a transaction recorded in the books of accounts, in the books of accounts for the financial adjustments. Okay, for the financial adjustments. Okay, so those transactions are called as journals, guys. So a transaction which has been happened in the day-to-day business for the financial adjustments, like example, journals are accruals, prepayments, outstandings, FX revaluation, and month-end adjustments, month-end adjustments, reclass, okay, round of adjustments, round of adjustments, okay. So tax provisions, provision for doubtful debts, provision for doubtful debts, debts. Before to that, bad debts. Okay, so these are the various adjustments in every business. You can go to any company, like an MNC company to a startup based company. Every company, there is a day-to-day business. In the day-to-day business, are the adjustments which has to be done. Okay, so what are the various types of adjustments we have? We have accruals, prepayments, outstandings, amortizations. Okay, and we have like month-end adjustments, reclassifications. Okay, so this purchases, sales, receipts. So purchase has been taken care by P2P team, sales taken care by O2C team. That is in our in accounting there is sub process. So AR, AP. So like each separate team will take care of this each type of invoices, but R2R team will take care of the journal entries. Okay, so month end journal entries. So let's understand each and every journal entry in a very clear cut way, guys. So first we will discuss about the accrual journal entries. Okay, so first we will discuss about accruals. Okay, accrual journal entries. Okay, so before that, we understand while in the explaining the accounting concepts, I told you what is the meaning of accrual concept of accounting. Okay, so today let's have a recap of 2 minutes for that. Okay, so accrual concept is nothing but recording the transactions, recording the transactions when it occurs instead of instead of payment or receipt, guys, instead of payment or receipt. It's the in a day-to-day business, like every company will record these accruals. So in my experience, many interviews, like every interview call, I could say that out of 10 interviews, 9 interview calls will not wind up without asking a question from this accrual concept, guys. If you're attending the interview for R2R, and even it's your experience from fresher to an experienced people, even if your experience is 15 years, the first basic question will come from this particular concept. Without asking a question, I never seen an interview which is getting ended, guys. Very, very important topic it is. Okay, in the real time, most of the transactions are recorded from the R2R based on this concept. Okay, so accrual is nothing but recording the transactions when it occurs instead of payment or receipt. That means the transaction to be recorded when it is happened, not on the payment date. So that is called as accrual concept of accounting. Okay, so there are two methods of accounting. Two methods of accounting. So what are those? So one is cash basis accounting. One is one is cash basis of accounting. Basis of accounting, and another one is accrual basis of accounting. So in cash basis, first understand the cash basis of accounting so that you will understand what is accrual basis of accounting. So in cash basis of accounting, the transactions are recorded only only when the actual cash payment or receipt is made. Only when the actual cash payment or receipt is made, not on the transaction occur date. Okay, so example we discussed. So there is a 1st January goods purchased on credit, goods purchased on credit for 10,000, for 1 lakh from ABC. So 9th February payment made to ABC. Payment made to ABC. So according to the definition, when we need to record the transaction, guys, transaction will be recorded when
9th
recorded
February.
on 9th
9th Feb.
February. So if you follow this method of accounting, nowadays no company is following us, but if you follow this method of accounting, sorry, what are the disadvantages?
Missing of transactions.
Yeah. So in a day, in and out, multiple transactions are happening on the credit basis, like around 100 to 50 transactions. Suppose if it is happening, is it possible to remember when the payment is going to make, or even we make a credit sales to a customer, is it possible to have it tracked? No. So the major disadvantages is missing of transactions, and C, expenses are expenses are understated, understated, understated. Inaccurate financial reports. Inaccurate financial reports. Okay. So no track of receivables, receivables from trade customers. Okay. And no track of payables to trade vendors. Okay. So this is the major disadvantages in the cash basis of accounting system, guys. So one is missing of transactions and expenses are understated, inaccurate financial reports, no track. So suppose example, assume there are two types of sales, guys. One is cash sales, another one is credit sales. And cash purchases, credit purchases. Okay. See, example, assume the company has been made a cash sales of 1 lakh rupees and credit sales of 50,000 and credit purchases of 50,000, cash purchases of 50,000 and credit purchases of 70,000. So according to the cash basis of accounting, what is the net profit is? What is the net
One
profit?
50,000.
50,000.
That is, we need to consider only cash purchases and cash sales. So what is the cash purchases? 50,000. What is the cash sales? 1 lakh. 1 lakh minus 50,000. What is the net profit here arriving for the company?
50,000.
50,000. So if it does not record this particular sales and credit purchases, what is happening? Inaccurate financial reports. Suppose if it does not record these credit purchases, the profit is overstated, expenses are understated. Okay, so expenses on revenues are understated. That means we are showing less. Okay, so inaccurate financial reports. So the which we are showing in the books of accounts, is it an accurate profit guys?
No.
No, it's an inaccuracy of the financial reports. So the reports are inaccurate. So to eradicate and to recover from these problems, they have been introduced a new concept is called as accrual basis of accounting system. Accrual basis of accounting system. Okay. So in this method, the transactions are recorded when the actual cash payment, sorry, when transactions are recorded when it occurs instead of cash inflow or outflow, that is payment or receipt, cash inflow or outflow. Okay, so that is called as accrual basis of accounting system, guys. Okay, so suppose we discussed here one example, the transaction is being incurred. So what the companies will do is they will record the transaction on 1st January, they will show as 1st January, they will record the transaction will be recorded as credit purchase, and 9th February transaction will be recorded 9th February as a payment to vendor. Payment to vendor. So here what is happening when the transaction is happened, they are recording whether it is a credit purchase or cash purchase, they are recording the transaction, and when the payment is happening, they are recording. So both the time they are recording, so that is there any missing of transaction, guys, if you follow this method?
No.
No,
Advan-
sir.
Advantages of accrual basis of accounting system. Okay, basis of accounting system. So do we get any major differences here? Major missing of transaction will happen? No missing of transactions. Okay. So expenses and revenues are not understated. So we will not show less. Okay, understated. Expenses and revenues are not understated. Okay, so accurate, accurate financial reports. Accurate financial reports. Okay, track of payables, payables to trade vendors. So what is the amount we need to pay to trade vendors? Enable to track properly. And track of receivables, receivables, receivables to trade customers. Okay, so there is a proper track of what is the payable and what is the receivable amount. So we can easily track that. Okay, there is no any mismatches. So that is the advantages of accrual basis of accounting system, guys. Yes, did you understand the definition of that? Any doubts?
No, Vinod.
No.
Okay, fine. So this is called accrual basis of accounting system. So in recent interview, one I think KPMG interview, one of the senior manager asked one scenario based question, guys. So he given an example. He told that if I gave you balance sheet, balance sheet of a company, how can how can you identify identify whether they are following 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 cash basis of accounting system or accrual basis of accounting system. So to test our technical knowledge, so he asked same question, guys. Okay. So if I gave you the balance sheet of a company, how can you identify whether they are following a cash basis of accounting system or accrual basis of accounting system? So how can you identify? Can you give me the answer on this?
If any credit transaction is mentioned in the balance sheet, then we can find it.
How can we identify whether the credit transactions are mentioned? Your answer
We
is
men we mention in your liabilities.
Sir, in
100%.
accounts payable and accounts receivable transactions showing
Exactly.
value.
So
Account,
if there is an accrual basis of accounting system, there is a balances in accounts payable and accounts receivable. Okay. So in cash basis, no, no accounts payable and accounts receivable. Yes, understand? It's clear?
Yes, Vinod.
Okay. So this in accrual basis in the balance sheet, there is a accounts payable and accounts receivable. In cash basis of in accrual basis, there is a accounts payable and accounts receivable balances will shows. And in cash basis of accounting system, there is no accounts payable and no accounts receivable. It's clear? Okay, fine. So accruals are types of accruals. Types of accruals. We have two methods, guys. One is one is accrued expenses and accrued revenue. What are the two methods, guys? Accrued expenses and accrued revenue. So let's think about the accrued expenses now. Okay. So accrued expenses is nothing but the expenses are incurred. Payment is not done. Invoice is not generated. Invoice is not generated. Those expenses are called as those expenses are called as accrued expenses. Okay, so the expenses which is been but incurred in the current accounting period, incurred in the current accounting period. Payment is not yet done and invoice is not generated. Okay, see the expenses. Expenses is nothing but any of the expenses, guys, which is being occurred in the current period. The payment is not being done and invoices are not generated, bill is not generated. So those expenses are called as accrued expenses. Okay. So example, rent. Will you pay the rent in the same month, guys? Rent.
Yes.
Normally companies will not pay the rent in the same month. Like January month rent will be paid in February 5th or 6th. Correct?
Oh,
But that
Yes.
expenses is related to which month?
January.
January.
So here the expenses are incurred in the current accounting period. That means it is happened in the current accounting period, but the payment is not yet done. So whatever the expenses, if someone told we will pay in the same month, if you pay in the same month, no need of recording any accrued expenses. That is a cash transaction. You will record whenever the payment is made. But the transactions which is taken place in the current period, but companies are not making the payment, they are going to make the payment in the next month. Those expenses, the bill is not generated. So the main thing is not about the payment, guys. So if the bill is generated, if the payment is not made, that is not a accrual. The important thing is invoice. Wherever the transactions, the invoices are not generated and it is going to generate in the next month, those are called as accrued expenses. So example, don't think about MNC companies, think about the domestic companies. So whether they will make the salary payment in the same month, guys,
No.
No.
when they will make the payment,
Month
first,
end.
first to fifth, second, or whatever the date they have been given. So those are called as accrued salaries. Accrued salaries. Accrued rent. Okay. Accrued rent. Accrued salaries. Accrued rent. And there is a internet charges for your home. So when the bill will be generated for the internet charges, guys?
Month end.
It is prepaid.
Sorry.
Completion of
Month
1
end.
month.
Yeah, month end or they will generate, if they generate on the month end, they can't able to guess what is the, if it is a fixed plan, they will generate according to that. If it is a broadband, that is postpaid charges, they will generate from 1st to 31st. So if they generate on 31st, they can able to consider what is the expense, what is the utilization in the 31st, guys. Is it
No.
possible? So that's the reason they will generate the bill on second or third of every month. Okay, but that internet expenses is related to which month? Last month.
Previous month.
If you does not record in the last month, what will happen? The profits are overstated, expenses are understated. So those type of expenses are called as accrued expenses, guys. Okay, accrued internet charges. So let's think about your employee benefits. Company is paying two types of packages, guys. What are those? In our package, there are two types of elements are included. What are those?
Fixed and variable.
Fixed and variable. Exactly. So whether the variable pay is paying every month, assume in MNC companies whether the variable pay is paying every month,
No.
when they will pay,
3 months.
Every 3 months.
3 months once.
it's not completely it's not about 3 months, it's
It
completely
depends on performance.
depends upon the company to company. So if you go to CTS, Cognizant and Sagility, I think they are paying every month, sorry, every 3 months once. And if you go to Accenture, they are paying 9 months once. Infosys, I think 6 months. I'm not sure exactly. So according to the company's HR policies and company policies, they are making the payment. Whether that variable pay is paying every month,
No.
No.
but that is an expenses to which month? It's an every month expenses. So if they're telling I'm going to pay after 3 months, if you show that all the 3 months expenses in the last month, is it an accurate way? Is it an
No.
accurate?
No.
So what companies will do is every month the HR will send the data to the R2R team. What is the how many number of employees for them? What is the bonus we are going to pay for this particular month? That consolidated 3 months by bonus will be paid at one shot. Okay, but every month we need to record the transaction. That is called as accrued PLI. What is the meaning of PLI, guys? PLI. In the companies, they used to use the vocabulary PLI, not variable pay. They will use as PLI. Performance link incentive. What is the meaning of PLI, guys? Performance link incentive.
Performance.
It is also called as, in our terminology, it is called as VP. VP is nothing but variable pay. It's understood? Accrued PLI. Okay? Accrued salaries, accrued rent, accrued internet, PLI. Okay? So, and one more example, the company is paying companies allowing two types of leaves, guys. What are those? One is sick leave and another one is EL. EL is nothing but
Annually.
Annually.
so the company is liable to pay the leave
Annually.
or not. Company is liable to, even if after your last working day, did the company will pay the money to the earnings or not, guys?
Yes. They'll pay.
Yes, ma'am.
It's an expenses of the company related to every month, or it is after your like remove like relieving the company.
After we
Every
get to live in the company.
The company is providing the 1.5 leave. I think as per mine, most of the companies are providing the 1.5 leave balances added to your leave account. Okay,
month.
correct. So there is a leave balances to that account. It will be added in the next month. If you take the leave, that will be deducted from your leave balances. The company is paying the money even when you are taking the leave because you have earned leaves. So, but that expense, is it an expense to the company or income to the company, guys?
Expense.
It's a,
Expense.
Expenses.
so that will be called as in the real time accrued PTO. What is the meaning of PTO, guys? Pay time off. Pay time off. Pay time off. It is also called as EL. EL is nothing but and leave. Okay, guys, understand? So whatever they are paying to the employees, they are recording in the same month. So some companies, they are providing the shift allowances, night shift allowances, or any OT charges. Will they pay in the same month, guys? Whatever the OT you earned in the current month, will they pay in the same month?
No.
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 That will be paid in next month.
Next.
Okay. So the night shift charges also, that will be considered in the, so those are called as accrued allowances. Accrued allowances. But that expenses is related to which month, whatever the OT or whatever the night shift you are doing, it is related to the current month. It is a company, but the company is not paying this month. They're paying in the next month. But if it does not record that expenses, what will happen? The profit will show more, expenses will show less. Every company will record this type of transactions, guys. Okay, accrued travel allowances. If a company, if a employee is going out of the company for any company visits, so the company is paying the money. That is called as accrued travel allowances. Like this, we have n number of examples, guys. Accrued salaries, accrued internet charges, accrued wages, accrued internet allowances, and accrued office maintenance, accrued housekeeping. So that housekeeping is there. Is there part of company's employees, guys? Did they are part of the company employees? Housekeeping staff which companies are maintaining, is there part of the on-roll employees to the company? No.
Mm,
It will be maintained by the third party people. Will they pay them? Will the company pay the money to the third party vendor in the same month? No. That
No.
paid to the third party vendor in the next month. So even our travel transportation, like our company is providing the fee cab facilities. So that will be provided on free basis. So that will be completely there is no charges has been incurred for the employee. It is an expenses to the company. The company is paying to the third party vendors in the next month. So like this, any number of examples, guys. Those are called as accrued expenses. Guys, understand? Understand, guys? What is the meaning of accrued expenses? The expenses are incurred, payment is not done, invoice is not generated. So why we are highlighting this definition this much? Because many interviews frequently ask a question, guys. Is clear? Is understand? Okay, fine. So, and accrued expenses is a current liability. What is accrued expenses is a current liability shown under shown under balance sheet liability side, where the accrued expenses is been recorded, guys, where it has been presented current liability, under which side? Balance sheet liability side. What is the meaning of current liability is also a technical question. What is the meaning of current liability? I am telling it is shown under current liability. What is the meaning of current liability? The liability or the money which company has to pay within a 1 year. The amount or liability which company liable to pay within a year of span. Those liabilities are called as current liabilities. Those liabilities are called as current liabilities. So the amount, so this accrued expenses, example, accrued internet charges, will you pay after 1 year, guys? Example we discussed.
No,
Internet charges, will the company will pay after 1 year?
No, no, no.
no, within year.
No.
So 1 year. So accrued performance link incentive, that is variable pay. Will any company will pay the bonus after 1 year?
No,
No.
Every 1 year. And your like accrued wages, accrued internet charges, every expense has to pay below 1 year, but we are not paying in the same month. So that is the reason we need to treat this as a current liability. Yes, understand? Yes, understand? Yes.
yes, bro.
Yes, Vinay.
So before understanding this, I want you guys to understand one very important thing, that is when there is a few important things to be kept on mind. Okay, sales. So this is very important thing. It has to fix on mind before stepping into the company's case. See, when the asset is increases as per the real accounting rule, it has to be debit or credit, guys.
Debit.
It is debited.
When the asset value decreases, okay, so when the asset value decreases, it has to debit or credit.
Credit.
Credit. So same way as per nominal rule of accounting, when the expenses increases, debit or credit.
It is
Debit.
debited.
Debit,
When the
debit, sir.
expenses decreases,
Credit.
credit.
Debited.
When
Debit.
the liability increases, opposite to
Credit.
asset, credit. When the liability increases,
Debit.
equity equity increases, credit, and decreases,
Credit,
debit.
debit.
Revenue nominal account, when the revenue increases, is it debit or credit?
Credit.
Credit.
Correct. So these things has to be kept very important, guys. Okay. So now this accrued expenses, which type of account I told you? It's a Current liability.
Current liability.
The liability increases, we need to debit or credit.
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 So what is the journal entry for accrued expenses? So what entries will record the companies at the month end? That is expenses account debit to accrued expenses. What is the journal entry, guys? Expenses account debit to accrued expenses. So expenses is type of which type of account it is? Nominal
Nominal.
account. When the expenses increases, we need to debit or credit, guys?
Debit.
Debit.
So accrued expenses is a which type of account it is?
Current.
Current.
Liability.
When the liability increases, we need to debit or we need to credit.
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 Where it will shows balance sheet,
Liability
Credit
account.
side.
liability.
Liability side.
And when the payment is made, that means whatever the expenses we have been incurred, that is not made. When the payment is made, the journal entry will be accrued expenses account debit to bank account. So here accrued expenses is a which type of account it is? Current liability. So when the liability decreases, that means you need to pay the money, you paid the money.
Liability.
Pay the money,
Current
the
liability.
liability will increases or decreases?
Decreases.
Decreases.
Decreases, we need to debit or we need to credit?
Debit.
Debit. Okay. And bank account is a asset account. When the balance is getting decreased, we need to credit that. Okay. Let's understand. So example, ABC Company Limited. ABC Company Limited. Salary for the month of January 25, January 26. Paid on 5th February. Assume it is 1 lakh. Okay. So for the employees. So what entries did company need to record on the month end? So that is Jan 30th or Jan 26th. So Jan 30th, 1 day before they will record it, 26. Okay. So what entry they need to record? Salary.
Account account.
Let's keep
To
on
bank account.
salary account. Did they are paying in the same month? Did they are paying in the same months?
No,
No.
it is saying February.
So then we need to record why are we crediting bank account?
Accrual expense.
That is accrued salary we need to credit.
Accrued salary.
Okay. If you paid in the same month, I really say that we need to record it as salary to bank account. But no, we are not paying here. Okay. On 5th February, 5th February, what is the entry to be recorded as? Accrued salary account debit
Bank account.
Bank account.
Account.
to bank. It's understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Here we are showing it as a liability.
Yes, bro, you are in mute.
I think you are on mute. Now.
Okay, guys. So ABC Company Limited PLI bonus, that is variable pay bonus for the cycle Jan to March 30,000 paid on 10th April 2026. Assume there is a bonus to the employees. What is the amount? I'm just giving the example of 30,000, guys. In the real time, the amount will changes according to the number of employees and number of days they are working according to the bonus validations, guys. So what is the total number of months? It is Jan,
3 months.
Jan for 10,000. I'm just giving Jan 10,000, February 10,000, and March 10,000. They're paying in the month of April. Do we need to record the transaction in all these 3 months or not required?
It's required.
It's
Not
Is
required.
so in the
required.
month of Jan, what every month what company will record? PLI expenses
Bonus.
or bonus account debit. What is the amount? 10,000 rupees. Accrued,
More expenses.
accrued.
PLI.
Okay. So in the month of February, what entry we need to record?
PLI.
Same. Okay.
Same
So in the
bonus
month of
account
March,
to accrued.
the month of March,
Same.
the same entry will be recorded. So 10th of February, 10th of February, what, sorry, 10th April, what entry to be recorded, guys?
Accrued
The
PL
accrued
account
pay.
to bank account.
What is the amount?
30,000.
30,000.
30,000.
To bank. It's understand how the companies will record the accrued expenses. That's clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, yeah.
Okay. So assume example, ABC company rent for the month of February 26 paid on 5th of March. Assume 1 lakh rupees. So what is the journal entry to be recorded on February month, guys? February 26th.
Rent account
Rent
debit.
account
Rent account
debit.
debt to accrued.
Accrued.
Rent account
Debited.
debit. So here rent is a
Accrued.
this rent amount where it will shows, guys. Which report it will shows?
Debit. Per-
Debit.
Profit and loss account, debit side, because it is an expenses. So this accrued rent where it will shows balance
Balance sheet.
Balance sheet liability.
Credit side.
liability side.
Liabilities.
Okay. So while making the payment on 5th March, what is the entry?
Rent account debit.
Accrued
Accrued
rent
rent
account
account
debt to bank
debit.
account.
Bank.
Accrued account debit to bank.
Sir,
Bank
Bank.
account.
Is understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the entries for accrued expenses, guys. Understand about the meaning of accrued expenses and what is the entry to be recorded, guys?
Yeah.
Doubts? Okay, guys. So in this, there are two types, guys. One is reversible accruals, one is non-reversible accruals. So let's think about what is reversible and what is non-reversible. Okay. So that I will explain in the tomorrow session, guys, with the frequent examples. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
Okay.
yes,
Because some expenses are reversible, some expenses are not reversible. What are reversible, what are non-reversible, with uh, frequent examples we can discuss. Okay. So but today, try to understand what is the meaning of this and what are the various set of transactions to be recorded for the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Sure. Thank you.